WWE has long been a world of breathtaking performances and peak drama. But what might surprise you is that the real-life stories of its superstars are often even hotter than the scripted ones. Some wrestlers left fans stunned not by their moves in the ring, but by who they dated outside of it. And guess what? More than a few of them were involved with adult film stars. Sounds unreal? This is the kind of truth WWE would rather keep behind the curtain. But today, wrestling sphere is pulling it back, exposing the relationships that left the wrestling world wide-eyed and speechless. Matt Riddle, from cage fighter to a scandal-fueled spiral. The original bro, Matt Riddle, was once seen as a unique phenomenon in WWE. A former MMA fighter turned pro wrestler with a laid-back, fun-loving persona that set him apart. But behind the bright lights and big matches, his personal life was far more complicated, and eventually, deeply controversial. Before things unraveled, Riddle was a family man. He married Lisa Rennie in 2011, and for over a decade, she stood by his side as he transitioned from the MMA world to the WWE spotlight. Lisa wasn't just his wife, she was his emotional anchor, walking with him through every step, from NXT battles to the global stage of WWE. Together, they had 3 children, and for a time, they projected the image of a happy, admired family. But behind the grinning, carefree mask, cracks had already begun to form. Their marriage quietly ended in March 2022, and that's when a series of personal events began to drag Riddle's name into controversy. Just months after the divorce, Riddle was revealed to be dating Jordan Max, an adult film actress. Their relationship became public in mid-December, though they had reportedly been together privately for 6 months prior. What shocked fans wasn't the relationship itself, but what unfolded afterward. Days before Riddle and Max went public, another adult actress, Misha Montana, posted an intimate photo of herself with Riddle to her Instagram story on December 12th. The picture of them kissing instantly blew up on social media, throwing Riddle into a whirlwind of drama. Max reacted with fury. Her emotional posts expressed pain and betrayal, accusing Riddle of cheating. According to her, just 2 months earlier, Riddle had been whispering promises of love and building a future with her. But overnight, that dream collapsed. Things got worse when Max accused Riddle of secretly relapsing into substance use, something he had previously claimed to have overcome. She even said he chose to go to rehab instead of spending Christmas and New Year's with her as planned. Her heartbreak turned to outrage, and her social media posts quickly went viral, dragging Riddle deeper into the storm. A bigger shock hit WWE when Riddle failed a second drug test. As a result, he was suspended for 60 days, a major blow to his rising career. He was forced to miss a high-profile pay-per-view event and was pulled from a key storyline on Monday Night Raw. The once beloved original bro saw his image overshadowed by personal scandals. Fans were divided, some showed sympathy, others voiced harsh criticism. Riddle chose not to directly address the controversy, instead posting a cryptic message, neither confirming nor denying the allegations. It was a dark chapter in Matt Riddle's journey, a reminder that even the brightest spotlight can't hide the cracks behind the curtain. On December 21, 2022, Riddle posted this on X, formerly Twitter. "I've worked really hard on myself, and for the first time in my life, I've learned to say no and set boundaries." Though he didn't mention anyone by name, many believed it was his subtle response to the whirlwind of accusations surrounding his private life and substance issues. After leaving rehab, Riddle officially confirmed his relationship with adult film actress Misha Montana, the same woman rumored to have been the other woman during his time with Jordan Max. Montana quickly came to Riddle's defense on social media, stating that he was fully single when their relationship began. She emphasized that their connection was serious and denied any claims of cheating. The couple made their first public appearance together at the XBIZ Awards on January 15, 2023. The event marked Riddle's return after rehab and made their relationship official. Montana posted several photos from the event, including one that went viral with the caption, "Sorry kids, Mommy and Daddy are home." However, going public with the relationship brought intense backlash for Montana. She received a flood of hate messages, was shunned by some colleagues, and faced professional setbacks. In response to the growing criticism, Montana gave several interviews, opening up about their relationship. Two people with a troubled past, choosing to face the future together despite public judgment. In a February 2023 interview, Misha Montana spoke candidly about the pressure of dating Matt Riddle in the public eye. "I've never experienced this level of harassment and invasion of privacy. They found my phone number and my address. It became overwhelming, toxic, and terrifying. She also revealed that the negative attention didn't just come from fans, but from people within her own industry. She admitted that one reason she stopped working with XPW was due to the judgment she faced over her personal choices. According to Montana, loving Riddle ended up costing her a great deal in her professional life. In the same interview, Montana admitted that the timing of going public was incredibly unfortunate. She implied that their relationship had started long before the public caught wind of it and expressed her frustration. "No one knows what's really going on between us. And honestly, it's nobody else's business." When asked about her current state, she simply responded, "I'm happy. We're happy. Our life is full of love, and that's what we choose to focus on." On July 7, 2023, Riddle and Montana announced they were expecting their first child. But just a few months later, on September 22, WWE officially released Riddle from his contract, citing issues related to his personal conduct. Despite the setback, on December 1, the couple welcomed their son, Matthew, marking a new chapter in both of their lives. In a September 2024 interview, Riddle opened up, "I'm 38 years old. I don't want to hide my relationship. I just want my girlfriend to feel safe and loved." He also stood up for Montana against the hate she received. "People have sent her death threats, blaming her for my career. That's something I will never accept." In December, Montana once again defended Riddle when he was accused of scamming $2,000 for missing an event appearance. She stated that the money had already been refunded and there was no dishonest intent whatsoever. She called the accusations against Riddle completely false and even warned of taking legal action if the event promoters didn't stop spreading misinformation. On social media, she shared multiple posts standing by her partner, revealing that her lawyer had already sent out cease and desist letters, which were ignored. Though she later deleted some posts, her message remained crystal clear: she was ready to fight for the man she loves. Through criticism, job loss, and public pressure, Riddle and Misha Montana have stood strong together. They chose to focus on family, sharing their journey into parenthood through vlogs and heartfelt posts, capturing baby Matthew's milestones with pride. Though Riddle is no longer in WWE, his wrestling story isn't over. Now performing in Major League Wrestling, the original Bro is reinventing himself, freer, tougher, and seemingly with nothing left to lose. From scandal to fatherhood, from being fired to finding redemption, Riddle has walked a rocky road. And whether you support him or not, one thing's hard to deny: this is a story of resilience, in love, career, and personal growth. China, from muscle icon to controversial turn. Once hailed as the ninth wonder of the world, China was an irreplaceable icon during WWE's golden era. She shattered every boundary for female wrestlers, from winning the Intercontinental Championship to stepping into the ring with male superstars, something once considered taboo. But when the WWE lights faded, China's life veered into a direction no one could have predicted. After parting ways with WWE in 2001, China ventured into the adult entertainment industry. She graced the cover of Playboy twice, first in 2000 while still with WWE, and again later as a free agent. When asked why she chose to work with Vivid Video, she replied candidly, "I didn't know much about adult films, but Vivid was everywhere. They intrigued me." China would go on to appear in 6 adult films and win 2 AVN awards, proving she wasn't just a novelty act. However, things took a dark turn when her relationship with former D-Generation ex-partner and ex-boyfriend X-Pac spiraled into addiction and abuse. The tipping point came in 2004 with the release of One Night in China, an intimate video of the two. China claimed the video was distributed without her consent, calling it a deep betrayal, physically, emotionally, and financially. X-Pac, on the other hand, denied those claims, insisting she had agreed to its release. Where the truth lies remains unclear, but China's story serves as a powerful example of the dark side of fame, how a legend can be consumed by a world that not everyone is strong enough to escape. If there's one relationship in WWE history that embodied both chaos and controversy, it's the one between China and X-Pac. Once united as rebellious figures in D-Generation X, their off-screen connection was riddled with dysfunction, substance abuse, and questionable choices. The infamous One Night in China tape was released in 2004, capturing intimate moments between the two. Within just 2 years, it sold over 100,000 copies, becoming one of the top-selling adult videos of 2006 and winning a major Adult Video News Award. Yet, behind that success was a firestorm of criticism and backlash. China maintained she never approved the video's release, calling it a violation of her privacy, her body, and her finances. X-Pac firmly denied this, claiming China was fully aware and consenting. Regardless of the conflicting stories, the scandal marked the beginning of a serious rift between them, a moment where the line between personal pain and public spectacle was crossed. Their relationship lasted from 2003 to 2005, marked by turbulence, substance abuse, and alleged violence. The situation reached a boiling point in 2005 when China was arrested for physically assaulting X-Pac at his home. The incident reignited public concerns about how toxic their relationship had become. Shortly afterward, X-Pac publicly ended things, expressing his desire to sever ties completely with China. He once stated, "I wish her the best, but our relationship was a textbook case of dysfunction." Not long after, X-Pac found himself at the center of another rumor, this time involving adult film superstar Jenna Jameson. According to reports, the two met at a fan event in Pittsburgh, introduced by mutual friend Mark Madden. X-Pac later admitted that before heading to the club where Jenna was performing, he took LSD for inspiration, and the two kissed on stage before heading back to a hotel together. As for China, after the scandalous release of the tape with X-Pac, she continued working with Vivid Entertainment, filming 5 more adult movies between 2011 and 2013. These projects marked a volatile new chapter in her post-WWE life. Once a symbol of strength, China had become entangled in the very spotlight she helped create. After leaving WWE, China entered a bold and controversial phase, one driven by a desire for self-determination. In 2011, she debuted in her first professional adult film, Backdoor to China, in collaboration with Vivid Entertainment. The film garnered massive attention and paved the way for a series of follow-up roles. 1 year later, she took on the role of She-Hulk in the parody film Avengers XXX, which premiered in May 2012. Her performance was so striking that the studio spun off a full feature dedicated to the character, titled She-Hulk XXX, released in April 2013. For China, adult cinema wasn't just work, it was a statement of reclaiming control over her life after years of chaos in the wrestling industry. Steve Hirsch, founder of Vivid Entertainment, described her as a major draw in the business and revealed they had long-term plans to collaborate. But behind the scenes, China was fighting battles of a different kind. She struggled with addiction and mental health issues, challenges that led many fans to question whether the adult film industry was truly the path she wanted, or just the one she felt she had left. Sunny, from WWE goddess to the edge of controversy. When it comes to pioneers in WWE, few names deserve more credit than Sunny. She paved the way for future generations of women in wrestling, earning the title of WWE's very first Diva. In the mid-90s, Sunny redefined the role of women in sports entertainment, pushing past boundaries and setting new standards. She brought a fresh, bold presence to the scene, exuding confidence, charisma, and an unmatched ability to adapt. Sunny wasn't just a manager. She stepped into roles as a commentator, host, and even a competitor in the ring. Smart, daring, and versatile, that's how she made her mark. Armed with exceptional mic skills, Sunny wasn't just eye candy. She could verbally spar with anyone and hold her own. Her promos were magnetic, her personality impossible to ignore. Her influence went far beyond the ring. In 1996, she became the most downloaded celebrity on AOL, outshining even Pamela Anderson and Jennifer Aniston. That kind of popularity proved she wasn't just a pretty face, she was a full-blown cultural sensation. Sunny appeared on mainstream shows like MTV's Singled Out and Entertainment Tonight, helping WWE cross over into pop culture. Bikini covers of Raw magazine featuring her sold out like hotcakes, solidifying her status as one of WWE's top commercial icons. She opened the door for female wrestlers to do more than just stand on the sidelines. To WWE, Sunny was the original diva, blending beauty, talent, and massive public appeal. She helped reshape the image of women in WWE like no one before her. Interestingly, in the late 90s, Sunny reportedly turned down a $150,000 offer from Playboy to pose nude, citing personal and moral reasons. But later, her stance shifted. Between 2001 and 2003, she posed nude for the adult-themed Wrestling Vixens website, run by Missy Hyatt, a bold, rebellious move that fit her trademark fearless persona. Then, everything took a sharp turn. In the mid-2010s, Sunny officially stepped away from wrestling and entered the adult film industry, a decision that immediately stirred headlines. By 2015, rumors swirled that she was in talks with Vivid Entertainment for an adult film, though she initially denied them. However, in January 2016, Sunny surprised everyone by signing a contract with Vivid to produce her debut film. According to multiple sources, the deal far exceeded the six-figure amount initially speculated. The film, titled Sunny Side Up, In Through the Back Door, was released later that year. The 78-minute film, produced by Vivid and co-starring adult actor Will Powers, didn't exactly receive the warm reception many expected. While it drew attention, the reactions were mixed. Critics pointed out that Sunny lacked emotional depth and seemed disconnected during key scenes, leading many to say the performance felt flat. Still, following its release, she continued her involvement in the adult entertainment industry, but only after serving time behind bars. That's right, the story didn't end there. In 2020, after being released from prison, Sunny launched an OnlyFans account to post explicit content. This sparked major backlash, especially among the WWE fan community. Fans began to question whether she still deserved her spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, echoing the same debates that once surrounded Chyna when she entered the adult industry. Sunny's decision made her legacy more controversial than ever. Her adult film career was also clouded by ongoing issues with substance abuse. And now, it's safe to say there won't be any new projects from her, as a 17-year prison sentence stemming from a deadly DUI crash has brought everything to a full stop. What do you think about Sunny's tumultuous journey? Let us know in the comments below. Tylene Buck. Tylene Buck, better known to wrestling fans as Major Guns, is without a doubt one of the most striking examples of how wild things can get in the world beyond the ring. Once a standout valet in WCW, Tylene eventually left professional wrestling and dove headfirst into the adult entertainment industry. She made her WCW debut in late 1999 as part of the Nitro Girls dance team before transitioning to a backstage interviewer role. Soon after, she took on the name Major Guns and became a member of the Misfits in Action stable. During her time in WCW, she had notable feuds with Tigress and Miss Hancock. In November 2000, she turned heel by aligning herself with Team Canada. However, just a few months later, in February 2001, her contract was terminated, right around the time WWE acquired WCW. Shortly after leaving WCW, Tylene joined Extreme Pro Wrestling, XPW, where she managed the Sandman and entered a rivalry with Lizzie Borden. But her stint there was also brief, and she soon parted ways with the promotion. Between 2001 and 2003, she posed nude for the Wrestling Vixens website. Then in 2005, she officially entered the adult film industry under the stage name Brandy Wild, signing with the Seymour Butts talent agency. That same year, she also appeared in the controversial documentary 101 Reasons Not to Become a Pro Wrestler, which shed light on the darker, less glamorous side of the wrestling business. So what is she up to now, at age 52? Tylene is still active as a camgirl and manages an OnlyFans account where she shares adult content. She also performs for an erotic wrestling promotion called Double Trouble Wrestling. Pretty wild, right? And if you're thinking you've never heard of Major Guns before, don't worry. The next name on our list is definitely more familiar. Candace Michelle. Candace Michelle, the woman who once turned heads with her stunning allure, actually started her journey in entertainment at a very young age. At just 19, she moved to Los Angeles to chase her dreams of becoming a model and actress. She landed roles on TV shows like Party of Five, Seventh Heaven, and appeared in films such as Tomcats, Anger Management, and Dodgeball. But what many don't know is that, alongside those mainstream gigs, Candace also appeared in a softcore series on Cinemax called Hotel Erotica, where she played the seductive character Natasha. That wasn't all. Between 2002 and 2006, Candace took part in over 50 fetish-themed films under the stage name Mackenzie Montgomery. Titles like Bare-Breasted Bondage Girls, Tied, Gagged, and Frightened, and Girls Will Chloroform Girls featured provocative yet non-explicit content, more suggestive than outright adult. Despite her controversial past, Candace would go on to become one of the most iconic WWE divas of her era. Yet, her early path to fame is something not many fans are fully aware of. She's been candid about her history in the adult-themed entertainment world, but always clarified, it wasn't hardcore porn. In her own words, The most daring thing I ever did in those films was go topless. In 2004, Candace entered the WWE Diva search. Though she didn't win, WWE still offered her a contract, a major turning point that officially launched her wrestling career. At first, she was mostly used as eye candy with little involvement in actual matches. But that changed quickly. Determined to evolve, Candace began training seriously under WWE legend Arn Anderson. She slowly transitioned from being a ringside attraction to a legitimate in-ring performer. Her breakout moment came in 2005, when she starred in GoDaddy's infamous commercial during Super Bowl 39, a cheeky nod to Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. The ad created a massive buzz, and just like that, Candace's name was everywhere. That campaign transformed her into a sex symbol beyond the wrestling ring. Dubbed the GoDaddy Girl, Candace became not just a standout face of the brand, but a valuable marketing asset for WWE, elevating her appeal well beyond sports entertainment. Candace continued to appear in GoDaddy's Super Bowl commercials for several consecutive years, maintaining her popularity and steadily expanding her influence. Thanks to the widespread attention, she landed opportunities beyond the wrestling ring, including modeling and acting projects. In 2005, she married Kenji Erlich, and interestingly enough, nearly 2 decades later, the two are still going strong. A big part of that might be her husband's openness and support, considering Candace posed nude for Playboy in April 2006. That photo shoot only elevated her star power within WWE, setting the stage for bigger storylines around her character. WWE capitalized on her seductive persona and her recognizable image as the GoDaddy Girl to boost her prominence in the company. By 2007, Candace reached the peak of her career by winning the WWE Women's Championship, becoming the first former Diva Search contestant to ever claim the title. Despite her success as a sex symbol, her past in softcore films did have lingering effects on her wrestling career. Initially, WWE had no knowledge of her earlier erotic roles. But in 2009, just as she was being prepared for a move to the SmackDown brand, several softcore videos from her past suddenly resurfaced online, sparking controversy. Although she had reportedly been slated to debut on SmackDown in April, that appearance never happened. While it wasn't the only factor, the viral videos played a role in her being pulled from programming and eventually led to her official departure from WWE in June that year. Even after leaving WWE, Candace didn't entirely walk away from the softcore scene. In 2011, she starred in another project titled Gia and Antonio's Captured Moments, once again using her familiar alias, Mackenzie Montgomery. Afterward, Candace pivoted toward acting and modeling in Hollywood and gradually stepped away from professional wrestling, until December 2017, when she returned for a heartfelt farewell match at House of Hardcore 36, Blizzard Brawl, defeating Lisa Marie Varon in an emotional final bout. Not long after, Candace made a surprise return to WWE during the Raw Reunion episode in 2019, where she unexpectedly captured the 24/7 championship, though her reign was brief. Through all the highs and lows, Candace Michelle proved she was far more than just a pretty face. She has openly stated that she doesn't regret her past in softcore entertainment, instead viewing it as an important chapter in her journey to the spotlight. Beulah McGillicuddy. Beulah McGillicuddy is a name that hasn't been seen in the WWE spotlight for a long time. Her real name is Tressa Hayes, and during the 1990s, she made her mark as a standout wrestler and manager in ECW, where she not only made a lasting impression but also met and fell in love with hardcore wrestling icon Tommy Dreamer. Before stepping into the world of ECW, Beulah had a lesser-known gig. She was a backup dancer for legendary singer Prince. It was during this period that she crossed paths with Raven, who later introduced her to Paul Heyman, the mastermind behind ECW at the time. But her work with Prince was only a small chapter in Beulah's colorful past. Before becoming a familiar face in ECW, she had worked in the adult entertainment industry under various stage names. Notably, she appeared in several adult magazines under the alias Trinity, including a now infamous photo shoot for Penthouse, a little-known milestone in her early life. She also made waves when a solo video surfaced online, released under the name Amanda Day. But that controversial past didn't stop her from entering the wrestling ring. Beulah made her official ECW debut in 1995, entering a dramatic storyline involving Raven and Tommy Dreamer. She was introduced as a girl who had once been overweight at summer camp, rejected by Dreamer, and later turned vengeful by dating Raven. Initially cast as a heel, Beulah played her role alongside Raven. But by early 1996, she made a shocking face turn and aligned herself with Dreamer. In a storyline twist, she announced she was pregnant with Dreamer's child, a moment that injected intense drama into the feud. Things got even more controversial when it was revealed that Beulah had previously been romantically involved with another woman, Kimona Wanalea, a storyline move that pushed the edgy envelope of wrestling at the time. Throughout her ECW run, Beulah wasn't just a ringside manager. She got physically involved in brutal altercations with names like Francine and Luna Vachon. Most famously, in 1997, she participated in a vicious and legendary match against Bill Alfonso, a bout still remembered today for its extreme violence. Beulah's final storyline in ECW came when the Dudley Boys delivered their devastating 3D finisher on her, breaking her neck and writing her off TV in 1998. After her exit, she stepped away from wrestling entirely and returned to college to finish her education. In 2002, she officially tied the knot with Tommy Dreamer. Together, they welcomed twin daughters, Brianna and Kimberly. Though retired, Beulah made a few special appearances, including at ECW One Night Stand in 2005 and 2006, standing in support of her husband, often described as a symbol of hardcore wrestling. It's fascinating to think that someone with such a provocative past before ECW could go on to experience the personal journey that Beulah did. After walking away from wrestling completely, she transitioned into creative work. In 2012, Beulah released her debut children's book titled Gertrude the Great. Despite the once infamous video that made headlines years ago, Beulah carved out a new chapter for herself, one that's more peaceful, purpose-driven, and worlds apart from her former seductive image. From the bright lights of the ring to headline-making relationships, WWE superstars often find themselves battling not just in the squared circle, but in real life too. Dating adult film stars isn't just a private affair. It's the kind of story that sparks media frenzy, divides fans, and even stirs reactions among fellow wrestlers. Some of these romances ended in explosive breakups, others were short-lived secrets, but all of them left an unforgettable mark in WWE history. Which story stood out to you the most? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe to Wrestling Sphere, and hit the bell so you never miss another behind-the-scenes story full of twists and turns.